Yep. So what we were saying is just king moving to f8 is generally not good enough because you simply get a pawn, right? So that is what I was saying. So most of the time, I mean, you can play it
Actually,
in view of the fact that you are going to get checkmated in some positions. So you may want it, but generally especially in experts and masters, right? It is like if you allow a pawn to be taken and that to a castle pawn and simply play after that, most of the time you are going to lose it because that is enough for experts to convert. Okay, as we have seen also
sir,
some end games. Yeah.
so in this position, if black plays g6,
If black plays g6, Madhura was asking, right? So it creates it prevents the Greek sacrifice, but it creates permanent weaknesses on f6 and h6 because your pawn can no longer control the f6 and h6 square. So white will land his knight on f6 or h6, or a queen will come to h6. A lot of those things will happen. So it is not this. So that's why I mean, don't. I mean, it is like choice between two bad positions. So that is the thing. So, but many times, why I'm saying that you should not be afraid of the Greek gift sacrifice from the black side, because you also have to calculate. So there are positions in which the sacrifice goes wrong and then you are one piece up. So it is not that black is always going to get defeated. No, it is not like that. There are many cases where the sacrifice goes wrong. So that's why it is all about calculation and about knowing the possibilities and using it when it works. When it does not work, then you should not play. But how do you know? Only with after seeing some examples of when it works, when it does not work, and calculating. Okay. All right. So we are going to look at a second example now of the Greek gift sacrifice. We are not going to look at the opening too much, or we'll see it. Okay, we'll see it. So this happens in reti opening also because okay, nf3 d5 c4, nf6 c d5, knight takes d5, d4 e6, yeah, d4 e6, and then white plays e4. So now white has the possibility now of, because of playing e5, bishop to b4. So white plays bishop to d3, castle, castle, and then b6, b6 white plays. So black plays, so white plays e5. So now the knight is displaced. Knight is displaced, and in this particular position, it is all, there is no this bishop is also ready to fire along h6. Knight is ready to jump to g5. Queen has got a thing. So everything is actually set. And now the rook is also not on e8. See, rook on e8 is not a mandatory thing. Rook on f8, sometimes it helps the attacker only because king does not have the space to go to f8, right? So king gets hemmed in here. So in this particular position, white straight away at this point, because at this point itself white is ready to, white has got this attack in mind. The moment white plays, see this, in this position itself, white is thinking about this attack. So he plays bishop to d3, bishop to d3. Now white is very much, white is saying that, oh, if black makes some mistakes, I'll be able to carry out this attack. Let us see. So castle, castle, and b6 is definitely probably a mistake here. Okay, so here e5, knight to d5, and let us see the sacrifice immediately. So bishop takes h7, king takes h7. Again, king h8, there is no point because knight will come to g5, right? Knight will come to g5 with ready with king to h4 also. So or bishop can even retreat back and simply gobble up the free pawn. So that is why king takes h7. See, king h8, knight g5, and then g6, then queen can come to f3. So
fork, sir, if
no, fork is not there because rook is there on f8. So,
yeah, sorry, sir.
so queen comes to f3, and then now what do you call, now king to g7, king comes, and queen to h3. Queen is ready to go to h3 also. See, f3 queen is not just attacking the f7, it is ready to come to h3. That is the whole point. And why? Because e6 pawn is there blocking this bishop on c8. So that allows queen to come to h3 also, right? So here queen to h3, rook to h8, then knight to e6 check, f to e6, because this is a fork, so you have to capture the knight. You have to capture the. Can you see why queen is so powerful? Because queen can land on h6 now, right? Queen can land. So bishop takes knight is a checkmate. Bishop takes knight, then queen to h6 is checkmate. So that is why you have to take it with the pawn only. F takes e6, then queen h6, king g7, sorry, king f7, queen takes g6, then king e7, and now what? King e7 now?
So bishop.
Bishop G5.
Fine. Yeah, bishop g5 also wins because you will win the queen. Okay, but here what white finds the checkmate by queen to g7. So now there is only one move for the king, which is king to e8, and then bishop to g6 is checkmate. Right. So this mate is also there. So again, the e5 pawn is also important because it covers the
Sir,
d6 and f6 square and doesn't allow the king to come up the board.
sir, can you go one move before this, Bishop? Oh yeah. Oh, it
The
was
forced
over
move.
here.
Forced move.
Oh, if it would have been on D7, you could have just got a bit. You could have just got a knight in between.
Yeah, but it is not, right? It is not. So king to h8 that's why does not help. So black king has to take the bishop on bishop h7. King has to take h7. Now knight g5. Again the king to h8 does not work, immediate checkmate. King to g8 also does not work because queen to h5, the checkmate is forced after that. Right? So king to g6. Just to show you, king g8, queen h5. Now the checkmate is getting forced, so rook has to vacate the square. Vacate the the f8 square for the king.
So
But-
can I see now the moves?
Yeah,
QF7,
yeah.
QXF7,
King h8.
QH5,
Yeah. King g8. Queen h7.
is QH7,
King f8.
uh,
Queen h8. King e7 and queen takes g7 is again checkmate.
yeah.
Right? So king h8 does not work. So you have to go to king to g6, and now you have to, white has to think between queen to d3 and queen to g4. Some positions queen d3 is better, some positions queen to g4 is better. Okay, in this position queen to g4 is better. And let us see, but now let us see the game is slightly different because this rook can come to h8, right? So let us see what happens here. Yeah, so they have also shown what would happen with queen d3. Queen d3 also you get f5. Okay, and f5 is the only really defensive move because king to
So
h5.
in passant, if the
Yeah, we will see this. We'll see this. Okay, king to h5 first of all does not work because queen goes to h7 and drives up the white king, black king, and now once the black king is here, then it is very simple checkmate. F3, right? So king to h5 does not work, and king to h6 also does not work because same thing. This itself is checkmate. Queen to h7 is checkmate. So f5 is really the only move, and then white plays queen to g3. Okay, so white plays. He does not take in Greek gift sacrifice, the e5 to f6 en passant is almost never played because it allows the king to take back the pawn and escape after that, because the e pawn is very, very vital for this attack. So you never take e to f6 in Greek gift. Okay, because you have already sacrificed a bishop. Otherwise, the king will take it the pawn and run away, and after that, you will not be able to catch him. The e pawn is very much essential to catch the king, not allowing him this d6 and f6 squares.
So that pawn is blocking those two squares, so no pieces can come there.
Yeah, exactly. And this d6 and f6 control, right? And f6 control and f7 control with the knight, because of which the king is not able to go on this side. That is very important. Okay. So this actually it happens from queen g4 also, black plays f5 and then queen g3. So it is transpose. This is called as transposition. Okay. Now, what is the threat? White is threatening. Knight takes e6, discovered check, and then taking the queen. That is what is white is threatening, right? So black further plays f4, but white plays. My threat continues. Bishop takes f4. But why did black sacrifice the pawn to create some space for the king? Otherwise, there was no defense for that threat, right? Okay, black could have moved the queen. Black could have moved the queen. Okay, what we are seeing? Okay, first of all, let us see this. What are the possibilities? On f5, white queen h4 is rebuffed by rook to h8. See, I was telling you the rook can come to h8. This is a key defensive move. In this position, it is possible. So that's why white does not go to h5. White maintains on g3, then threatening knight to e6, discovered check. Okay, and then what will happen is so black plays f4, white plays bishop f4, king f5.
Couldn't the queen just go back to g4
Where?
after f4? The
After
queen could
f4
just
you,
go back.
Then the bishop is blocked.
Oh yeah. My bad. Yeah.
yeah. So then queen
Sir,
queen will take on g5. So that is why you will.
Sir.
Yeah.
So can you go back a move? No, like when it was pawn to f4.
Oh, pawn to f4. So first of all, f5, queen to g4, pawn to f4. Yeah. Now
Shouldn't the knight take on e6?
no, then pawn will take the queen. You will also take the queen, but there is no benefit for you. You have sacrificed a piece. In fact, second piece you are sacrificing. So it does not help when your queen itself is. See, ABC ka. Remember the C of the checks. You can capture the checking piece. So it does not help. So bishop.
And what about queen? And what about queen to d3?
Queen to d3 again will now. Okay, king to h. No, now the knight. He will take
Yeah,
the queen.
knight is now the knight is
Oh.
Now the
gone.
knight will be gone, right? So you
Yeah.
can't. So now bishop is not no longer protecting them. So you have to take. So king to f5. Then now queen to h3 check. So queen comes to h5 with a check, and that is a powerful because
Sir, can't the bishop be taken?
yeah, you can take the bishop. But do you think the king will survive after coming so much into the enemy territory?
Oh,
simple.
no.
Knight to e4. And now next move is going to be g3 and check. Or queen f3.
Sir, yeah. Okay.
Right? Queen f3 is also coming. So your king, if it travels so much into the enemy territory, is going to get definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the two from the white side. We are going to conclude with one Greek gift from the black side. Okay, it is possible from the black side also. What are the kind of openings? Yeah, something like reti opening, etc. It is possible. So we are going to very quickly run through the first 20 moves. We are going to run very quickly. We are not going to discuss too much. But knight f3, knight f6, reti opening. c4, e6, nc3, bb4. This is almost probably something like a Nimzo Indian. Okay, c5. Yeah, like a Nimzo Indian it is looking. a3, bishop a5, e3, and then castle. And white plays. Yeah, white is still playing not exactly Nimzo, but white is reserving his bishop e2, knight c6, white castles. Black plays queen to e7, d4, d6, rook d1, bishop to d7. This all still opening theory is there here, because you can see at the bottom, you can see how many. This is from the chess-based database. So what it is saying is that it is finding 141 games where b3 is played by white, and it is finding two games only b3, and one game with bishop to d2. See, it keeps showing you here what are the possible moves and how many games are there in the database, so that it keeps updating. So d4.
It finds only master games or like games of
Yeah,
regular.
almost master games only. It is not having the general thing. It is expert and master games beyond. So then b3.
Sir, can you 1 second go back? I mean,
No. We are not going to go back because this opening phase we are not going to discuss. Okay, we are going to because we are not.
okay.
I'll just quickly go through this very quickly. C d4, knight to d4, a6, knight goes back to f3. I'm curious to see how come in this position black allowed the white pawn to come up to e5. Did he allow? And why? Why? Because in this position it is straight away not possible at all. I don't see how. Oh, he voluntarily went back. Knight to e8. Okay. Then queen to b1. Then f5. Okay. He's trying to attack on the king side. Oh, yeah. This is not. Yeah. You are right. You're right. It is not white playing the Greek gift. It is black playing the Greek gift sacrifice. Right. So fine. Bishop to d3. Fine. Knight to e5. And knight takes e5. Okay, white's king knight gets exchanged. That is the reason. And now white plays b4 and okay, now black is almost set for the but he has to get his. Okay, let us see what happens here, because bishop goes back to f1 and now knight f6. So now knight f6. Now black is in a ready position. Possibility of a Greek gift sacrifice is there. Can you see it? This bishop can sacrifice on h2, knight can come to g4, and then queen can come on h4. So that is what is all the characteristics of the attack. So let us see what white plays. White plays knight e2.
Sir, could you just flip the board?
Click the board. Yeah.
So that you can have a good point of view for black.
Oh, flip the board, you are saying. Okay. Flip the board. I can flip the board. Yeah. So black plays bishop to a4, rook to d2. Yeah. So can you see now the sacrifice works probably? Okay. So let us see. Bishop takes h2. Check. Again, king takes h2. We'll see if king goes to h1, then knight goes to g4. Okay, and not only that, bishop to b8, simply coming back with the bishop and just gobbling up that pawn is also good, as I said. But knight g4 also, knight g4, g3, because you have to prevent the queen from coming to h4. Otherwise, it is curtains after that. So queen g5. See, everything is mirror image now, right? What white was doing, now black is doing it. Queen to g5. And then here you can play f4 is one possibility that you will have to just check. Okay. Or you will have to check this thing. Here the knight comes to f4. And then queen goes to h6. Okay. So now if knight goes to h3, then rook h to d8. So this is not an instant win. They are saying that this is possible. So white could have played this. It is not an instant win, but heavily black is in serious serious advantage here, because he is going to be exchanging this rook and threatening this f2 pawn. If knight takes the pawn, then bishop will come to g6 with a discovered check. So knight cannot take it. So this position is like almost lost for black, but it is not immediate checkmate. Okay, it is not immediate checkmate. But and on queen g5, if king goes to g2, then bishop takes g3 is a thing. Knight takes g3, queen h4. Yeah, because with this, if the knight comes on g3, then queen has got everything coming up to h2 and checkmate. Okay, that is there. So that is why. But white could have played to knight to f4 and prolonged the game. Okay, you would not have probably have defended, but would have prolonged the game. But in the actual game, what happens? King takes h2. King accepted the bishop sacrifice, and now knight g4, king g3. If king goes to g1, then queen h4 is a checkmate is forced. There is no way you can defend this checkmate. Queen h2 checkmate is coming, right? So king does not go to g1, king goes to g3, right? Then queen g5 and f4. and queen h5. Now again, white is threatening the queen to h7 checkmate, and there is no rook to come to h1. So now this is a forced mate. Queen to h4, h2 is going to be a forced checkmate. We can just go back and see here. See, king to g3, queen to g5. Is there any other defensive move that you can think of? What is it?
Knight to f4.
Knight to f4, then
queen h6.
queen h6. Queen h6 and then followed by queen to h2.
Okay.
Because my knight on g5 on g4 is defended by the pawn now, right? So
Okay, wait, sir. After knight f4, queen h6, how about knight h3?
Knight h3 is a possibility, definitely. So knight h3 is a possibility. So let us just check out what will happen. Queen g5. If you play knight to f4, okay, I can also do knight to f4 allows me knight to e3 discovered check also. Knight to e3 discovered check is also right. So I can do actually before that. I can cause some more damage to your king, and knight to e3 discovered check. What will you do now?
King to g2. Sorry, king to h2.
King to h2, then queen takes f4 check. Queen takes f4 check.
Wait, how queen takes f4 check?
Because the pawn is no longer
anything,
right? Knight is on e3, so the f4 knight is now without defense. So I can take it with my queen, and then what will you do after that?
Sir, Avinav told that it's h2, right? He told h2, right?
Not h2. You're saying knight f4, right?
Oh, knight f4.
Knight f4, knight takes e3 discovered check, and that will finish it pretty much. You will have to go to some place like what? You will have to go
Mama,
you cannot go to h2. You can go to h3.
Mama, can I eat?
You can mute. Yeah. So okay. So I think this is this we have seen this. This is pretty much over, right? So again, another example of this one. So of the Greek gift. So yeah, I mean, interesting. Just search if you want to see some game videos also. I'm sure on Leeches you will be able to find the videos. Leeches video library. If you go and search Greek gift, I'm sure you will find it. Yeah, there is a Greek gift sacrifice. There is one more. So yeah, and on YouTube also you'll find it, and here also it is there. So definitely you will find it. So please do that. Okay, we are going to be doing what we are going to be doing. We are going to see, we said that there are two positions that I show every week. So the positions I have sent out the thing. So we are about in 5-7 minutes. We are going to close. So just this one. So look at this position and first position, not what did I do? No, not this, not F1, F12. Okay. Yeah, position number 45. Let's come to 40. Yeah, 45. Think about it. 45. White to play. Take 1 minute, 2 minutes to think.
QH6.
Yeah, QH6 is the biggest threat, very obvious threat, right? What can black do to defend?
So then knight
H5.
Yeah, knight h5 is a very big defensive move. It is also threat. It is covering the g7 square and also attacking the f6 pawn. So if you don't do anything, the knight will take the f6 pawn, and then there is no. I mean, not all the time, but Yeah, I mean that is also there if white doesn't. So first knight is on h5. Queen h6 is correct. Knight h5. Now what?
So,
Yeah.
Sir,
I think knight
and
to e7 check.
the same, sir.
yeah, knight to e7.
Yeah.
Same.
So let us just think. H6, knight h5, knight to e7 check. It looks very promising. King goes to h8. Black king goes to h8.
Oh. So,
And now your f6 pawn is in danger, because now if you don't do anything, then the black will pick up the knight. Knight will take f6 pawn, and then it is very difficult to continue.
oh, sir, from from e7.
Yeah.
When you move your knight to e7,
Yeah.
you could just take the pawn on
G6.
g6.
G6, you think you can take it, but black will take f takes g6, and it is quite okay, no problem.
If it would be taken by if it would be taken by h1, then you could have given a checkmate.
No, but h1 you cannot take only because the queen is there, the pawn is pinned, so h pawn is pinned. You cannot.
Ah.
Let me put this position quickly on the chessboard. White has got a rook on c1, this one, and f3. Okay, and black has got pawns like this. Okay,
So is it raining in Goa there?
sorry,
Is it raining there in Goa?
raining where?
Yeah, there.
No, not at my place. Definitely not. Okay, let me put the board editor and very quickly put it clear board. Knight is on h4 here. White knight. White pawns are like here, here, and here. And white has got a queen.
Queen and a knight.
Yeah, white has got a knight here, and white has got a rook here. And what? King is on h1. Okay, all right.
Then
Rook on 8.
Yeah, this is the position, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
So what we said is queen to h6, and then knight to h5. Knight to e7 looks good, but it doesn't help beyond the point. What will you do now?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Instead of knight going to h5, it can even go on e6.
Yeah, you can go on e6 also. You can go on e6 also.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, can you go to the starting nest position? Yeah, in this, except of getting your queen to h6, you can just directly jump your knight, right?
You can jump the knight to h6, but it doesn't help. King goes to h8.
No, I mean,
Sir, I think I got it.
e7. I meant e7.
Yeah, you can do it, but how does it help?
Sir, I think I got it.
Now you can kill the pawn and start it.
No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Even if you take it, not here.
No, not
Sir.
here. In my.
Okay.
Yeah, in
okay.
this you can take it now.
Still it is.
Sir, I think I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Can you go to the starting position?
yeah.
Okay, so probably knight will go to h5.
Knight should go to.
No, the black knight.
No, first
Oh
white
wait,
to.
it's white to play. Then
Queen h6
first,
is correct. Queen h6 is correct.
okay, then knight will go to h5.
Knight
The
will
black
go,
knight,
yeah, black knight goes to h5.
and then the white knight can go to g7 to attack it.
Yeah, but black can simply do this.
Oh,
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I was thinking earlier, even this doesn't work because this same thing. Because if the white knight moves here, then black knight simply takes the thing. So anyone else has got an idea? It is a sacrificial idea. It's a bit tough, but it is.
So killing the.
Knight e7.
Queen to h5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Queen to h5.
Now you have to practically force to take the
Check with a rook.
check with the rook. King goes to h8, and now
And now you could.
what?
Um,
Knight to h6.
yeah. Oh.
I was going to say
Knight to h6.
Now what is the threat? The threat is rook to g8.
But sir, you anyways wouldn't be able to get it there.
There is a very big difference. This I want to deflect this rook, and then knight comes to f2. It is going to become a- yeah, it is going to become a smothered mate, and there is no way to defend. See, there is no your queen cannot defend this pawn here. Even if your queen comes here to defend, white pawn will simply take. Right, that was the only other defense, because you currently there is only one defender for the f2 pawn, and which is going to get diverted very very soon, no matter what you do. Whatever you do it here, rook to g8, it's forced to you have to force to
Your
take,
voice is breaking for me.
and then it is maybe there is a network issue at your end. Just check. But this is a beautiful mate.
Sir,
A beautiful mate, right?
Sir, can you go back to the
dragging
one?
the rook.
Yeah, can you go back? Except of getting the rook there, you can just get your rook.
Wherever you take it, it doesn't matter.
You can get your rook and f7 to g7. Sorry, g8.
Yeah, you can do this. Then immediately, first next move only.
And then immediately I make.
Oh, okay.
I've seen this mate so
Yeah.
many times. I always used to it somehow.
So it's a beautiful mate. Okay. All right. Very quickly now, let us look at the second position. Second position is easy, I think. Yeah, it's this position. White to play.
Sir, do you need to win in this position?
Yes, you can win.
Oh, okay.
White to play, win. I mean, actually, I'm not supposed to tell, because white to play, you have to find the best move, but the best move is easily winning.
Rook e8. Rook
And the-
e8, sir.
Rook e8, and then king takes e8, then
Queen c8.
yeah, that is a checkmate. Wonderful. Right? This checkmate you have to be able to visualize. Rook to e8, because there is a bishop which is cutting off the e7 squares and also controlling the d8 square. So rook to e8 check, forced, practically forced. King has to take it. There is no other way. And then queen to c8. At most one move you can do elongate by queen to d8 in between, but white queen takes d8, and again it's a checkmate. Even if king, there is no other way. So rook to e8, king takes e8, queen to c8, queen to d8, and queen takes d8, it is checkmate. All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So after the 45th position,
Yeah. 45th is over, and 46th is also over now. So we are done on.
actually I don't know. I got disconnected, sir.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I think the recording is there. You can watch the recording.
Sir, I think we should leave now, I guess.
Yeah. We are done. So this is it.
Bye, sir.
Okay. So see you next week.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.